Right, here we are, VooTubers. It's me, I'm back. I'm back, I'm Gertie Rude. I'm back again and I'm in a mood. Well, here we are on post-consternation Bank Holiday Monday. We did have a nice time on Saturday, didn't we, VooTubers? Did you? Did you have a nice time? Spent all day yesterday around the environs of your London town, clearing up the effluence and detritus that arises as a consequence of an overly packed city, I'll have you know, VooTubers. Yes, it is my job in life, yes, to ensure all detritus is removed. So anyway, I'm back now. Saturday night, well, I can't remember what happened. You know, we had a right good knees up, we did, round my way. Yes, we did. You should have been round my gaff. Honest to God, we were doing the okey cokey up and down the bleeding road. Yes, we were. And you know yourself, it's never a party unless the police get called. Is it, VooTubers? No! And there I was, running around, half out of my mind on bleeding cider. Yes, I was, with no stockings on. Somebody thought... Oh, hang on. Sorry about that, I'm getting ahead of myself. Somebody thought a couple of bears had escaped from the local zoo, so that was it. Police got called, but it wasn't just me. No stockings. So today, I thought I would do this poor old bugger here. Look at him, bless him. He did an interview recently. We all know about it, don't we, VooTubers? Yes, we do. I've got Babbles down here as well. She's not happy. No, she's not. She's not sure why. Yeah, I thought I'd do a little bit of this today. What I've done, because the poor old chap's had a stroke, so I've only slowed it down like one nodule, if you know what I mean. So I have to sort of change it away, as far as I know, in case I get into trouble. As you well know, I'm in every danger of having my head surgically removed from my body. Yes! So I have to be very careful. But anyway, I've slowed it down one nodule. But this is him talking about that horrible old thingy Monty shit show. Here we go. Come on, you poor old beggar.
6th grade on, she lived with me.
Yeah.
And I got her through high school, I got her through college.
For many months, he couldn't talk. And even now, speaking is still difficult.
It was basically a single dad body, bless him.
For a conversation with his daughter, Megan.
I wish that we could sit down and talk. I wish that we could work out the differences. Megan, she loved me. I'm a hero. And suddenly that was thrown out.
So sad.
She's got to ask herself this every day. Why am I doing this to my father? I feel sorry for him, and I don't think he should be deprived of his daughter. Because if it wasn't for his hard work and his love for her, she wouldn't be where she's at right now. It's dad. It's
his brother. It's her brother, isn't it? So they've gone down, some Australian company, and they've done an interview. And somehow this is the beginning where he's going round to see his dad. I believe he lives in the same town in Mexico. I believe he's relocated to be near his dad. And soon I think they go to Florida to see Sam. I might skip forward to that bit because I think that's the most interesting bit, really. Let's see where we are. There they are there, bless them. Here you go.
How long has it been now?
It's been 4 years.
Just radio songs.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he's had a stroke and a heart attack, or a heart attack and a stroke, isn't
A
he?
stroke. If that didn't move her, what would?
Money, my dear, money.
There's a lot that's been lost already.
Oh, God.
And I
Here it
grieve
is.
a lot. I mean, I've lost my father.
Where did you lose him, dear? That was very negligent of you, dear. Where did you lose him? Pray tell.
Dad didn't do anything.
He's rocking that whole Jack Nicholson look, doesn't he? He looks like he might have been, wow, he's understudy in The Shining, doesn't he? When he was young, Mr. Markle. Bless him.
She just woke up one day in a new world and decided that she doesn't have any family.
I believe she had a clear motive for writing family off because it would seemingly justify and perhaps delay the revelation of all of the lies that she had told the royal family. I grew up as an only child.
Totally agree. Back of the net, Samantha. Back of the net. Look at this melt. Look. Oh, look at me. I've got my hand in it. So I signal to all the Masons across the globe that I am indeed one of them. They've let me in, VooTube. They wouldn't have done, but, Well, I got my servant to fill in the application form for me on account of the fact I can't bleed spell. I'll tell you what, another thing, he's wrote that stupid book, and that what's it, spare, whatever it is, yeah? I bet you anything he'd get a Pulitzer Prize for literature for that. And he didn't write it anyway, he had a ghostwriter write it. But there you go, the world is a very weird place when you have lots of money and a rich daddy, well, rich and powerful daddy, isn't it really? So, let's hear the rest of this shoot show.
Child, which everyone who grew up around me knows.
Oh.
And I wished I had siblings.
You have. You have. And what's worse, my dear, you've got a sibling that's in a wheelchair. She's what you might call chronically disabled. And without being too sort of doom-mongery about it, the level of her multiple sclerosis, you know, that will kill her eventually. You don't live happy. She's made the most. She's actually done better than that other old thing. Has made her way in life on her back, and she. But there you go, poor old Sam. Come on, darling. Let's hear what you got to say. I love it when she does that eyebrow. Yeah.
You had no doubt she was your sister.
Called her my sister. My little sister, though, I said, if there was any descriptive qualifier. She was my little sis. I would have loved to have had siblings, so I'm so excited to be pregnant that Archie had.
Oh, shut up. Where are your children? We've never seen them. Prove it. No one's found any blooming information about them. There's YouTubers out there, I won't name here, but they've actually tried to get the birth records, birth certificate, or some sort of knowledge of a birth certificate. And funnily enough, it just doesn't exist. And it's not like it's been wrapped and it's not available. It just doesn't exist. Woko. Jesus Christ. Hey, just having this thing in your life's like the kiss of bleeding death, innit? Come on.
Someone.
Because she was quite clear. In her mind, she didn't have a sister, didn't have a brother.
Oh.
But she did.
I remember when she was
tragic, innit?
A new addition to the family, and we just have a very young sister here.
Thomas Jr. was 14 when Megan came.
We all know ourselves when the family's already formed and then a new little life comes into it. I mean, it's heady stuff, isn't it? It's just beautiful. It's one of the most amazingly beautiful things that happens to a family. That's just my opinion, I think. And I'm sure they just all put their arms round her and out for her and loved her. Because she was such a new little thing, you know. What was it, 1975 when she was born? I mean, she's got to be 46, 47, isn't she? We all know that she lives about her age, like all actresses do. You've only got to look at her neck and hands to know that she's rocking. Well, she's nearer 50 than she is 40. Let's put it that way, for the truth of us. Let's not be bitchy. Let's all be kind. Hashtag.
For the world, during the Oprah interview.
Yes?
When Megan said she had no siblings.
What's the
She
cruise?
told the world she was an only child.
Oh, so painful.
Were you disappointed? No, I just made a little mark on my board and said, oh, there's another lie. Click. Were you puzzled?
Not any more puzzled than I was when she said, I lost my father. We knew that she didn't.
I'll be honest, the more you go on with this interview, what becomes apparent to me is she is living out some sort of idealised, prejudgmental, I don't know what she thinks is the way, well, to try and make them look like they're prejudiced. That's the best way to put it. And if anything, the person that's prejudiced here, and colour prejudiced, I might say, is herself. She is prejudiced against them because they're white. Being white isn't the thing. And she's trying to say that because they're white, they're prejudiced against her because she's full of shit. Carry on, Sammy.
Our dad, she iced our father. There's a very big difference. It was deliberate.
But why do that, Samantha? Why do that to somebody?
Because she's an arsehole.
I'll tell you why. What she told the royal family, what she told Harry, wouldn't have jived, wouldn't have been consistent with.
All of a sudden, she was ashamed of them. And not only that, she had a new daddy now. Well, she had sort of Baldy Barry, didn't she? And she was mooching off his dad, so she didn't need her dad anymore. And we all know what she said about her dad.
But why make up those stories? Are you saying that she doesn't think that
Excusez-moi.
her family's good enough?
Exactly, and I think more than that, it doesn't seem like she.
I think the narcissism was high when she was a kid, to be honest, my opinion.
In her mind, she had to inflate who she was to garner false admiration and to be accepted by the royals instead of saying, look, I've worked very hard.
She was the homecoming queen, don't you know? The two first. Yes, she was the homecoming queen. Look at me, I've got tear.
He put me through the best schools. He did the best he could. He loved me. He sacrificed, and for that I'm grateful.
I think, if anything, if anybody really wants to know why she is the way she is, I don't think you need to look a lot further than her mother, dear Voodoo viewers. Yes, say nothing though. Let's just blame the white side of the family. Yes, let's do it. Not that there should be such a thing as a white or black side of the family. They're just family, you know, and they should know, even if the children do exist, which apparently and allegedly they do, haven't they got the God-given human right to know their family as well? And it's all been decided. This is just narcissists. That's what they're like. They don't see the children, if they exist, or even pets, as individuals in their own rights. They see them as an extension of themselves, or a tool of themselves to be used. Well, like a handbag, really, to be fair. Property. There you go.
Instead, what she did was engage in self-glorification and leave everybody else out of the equation.
Excuse me, Sam? Old Woko? Self-glorification? I'm stunned. Look at me. I'm astounded, Voodoo viewers. Nobody knows you like your sister, do they, Voodoo viewers? Let's have it right.
As if she existed in a vacuum.
Wish she would.
In my opinion, she would still be a waitress if it wasn't for Dad.
Sammy, you're far too kind, you know. Wouldn't she find that slightly taxing? I mean, you'd have to get up. You'd have to actually work. Dearie me, Woko being a waitress. Didn't she? They did 1 hour a week or something or other for their so magnificent Archwell Foundation. Oh, yeah, she knows all about work, though, too. Yes, she does. We conned us out of money for that. That blooming wedding cost so many millions of pounds. British taxpayer paid.
That Meghan enjoyed a close relationship with her father. The family decided to share a selection of treasured childhood videos.
Oh, God. Here we go.
She and Dad had days at the ballpark.
I think he spoiled her and she grew up to be a proper little madam, you know. And I think she used a lot of emotional blackmail. I think she got that from her mum. If you sort of look into her background, there's enough out there. You can read between the lines. Her mum, when she was with her dad, was very much, it's me, you, and Rachel. You got to float your other kids out. You know, they're not. You ghost them. It's us three now. And obviously he wasn't prepared to do that because they're his children. And I haven't never read Spare. I wouldn't. Never read any of the books about her. You know, I can't read. Have I told you before? Have I unburdened myself that I am in fact illegitimate, which makes me incapable of the reading word or whatever. So anyway, you can read between the lines with these people that, metaphorically speaking, that the actual children, his children, like Sam and Thomas Jr., when they were teenagers, they weren't really welcome. There's that story in the book that somebody read out on here that I think it was Samantha. She went home one day or something or other. She was staying over as a teenager. It was after she'd had the accident on the rope swing that led to her multiple sclerosis. And she stayed overnight. And this little madam was about 9 at the time. And she said to her, don't leave the toothpaste lid off and don't mess my bathroom up and don't do this. She was like 9. You know, most big sisters would have told her to flip off. But there you go. So she was I think she was a little spoilt terribly by her dad, who was just trying to keep a much younger woman happy, i.e. Doria. And you can see the dynamic. And he worked like, 80 to 100 hours a week, this Mr. Markle, as a lighting director for Hollywood. But she'd have you believe that he was like, I don't know, like picked up litter in the park or something. Not that there's anything wrong with any of that sort of work, but there you go. Let's plunge on.
And weekends at the lake.
I'm sorry, but just that alone would have been, I beg your pardon. Who? Unto whom are you speaking, little madam? That's what I would have said, but that's just me.
The outings turned into regular lessons. And Thomas filmed the
It's
set
gratifying to know that she couldn't dance then either.
of the school show.
Thank you for everything. Anyone else too?
Yeah. Bye.
Penguin Random House Audio presents Spare.
Oh, you got to listen to this crap.
Harry describes Meghan as mourning the loss of her father. Yeah, I knew my way around grief, and there was no mistaking it.
Yeah.
This was pure grief.
Pure grief. Did you not say that you didn't cry for your mother until you were summit or other? 29 or summit, and even then you couldn't make yourself cry. But now, when Meghan was in tears all over the place, and as we shall find out in due course, Meghan could, she's the best crier. She's known to be, as her little actress thing that she does, which is more narcissism than actual talent. She can get herself in floods of tears and drop a bleeding hat. Oh, that thing can. Oh, yes, she can. Left eye, go. But no, here we go. This jerk, he's an expert, you know. He knew where she was crying all the time that she was grieving her dad. Yes, she was. Come on.
Loss of her father. Sounds as though you did.
Yeah, exactly. She killed me and then mourned me.
Every day
Lost.
there was another humiliating photo in the papers.
Yeah.
Thomas Markle buying a new loo.
Ugh.
Thomas Markle buying a six-pack.
And
Thomas Markle with his belly hanging over his belt.
I don't have any. Well, I do have lots of words, but all of them are profanities, so I best not utter them. We all know that this was a setup. It's just, we all know. And then we had all the depositions from Justin North at the Daily Mail breach copyright trial, didn't we? He was told to go and buy some beers because he doesn't drink. He went to buy them for the security men at his private estate where they live. I think it's a gated community. Mexico's another country, isn't it? So he was told to go and do it. He was pretty much, wow, he blindsided by the whole, oh, I'm going out of the brink event, wasn't he, really? And she wrote that letter, as we've all known, because we've all read the emails, she wrote that letter with a thought to the fact that the public might get to read it, which she knew they would, because she was going to get 5 of her friends, like she had 5 friends, just 5 of her different personalities probably, put them in the post, and they're in the newspaper. But she used it as a big stick to beat her own dad, who got her where she is. I mean, I'm not saying he's a saint, he probably weren't. Probably was a few, but nothing to the degree that she is making out. And I think it's a bit rich coming from him, coming from Barry. Oh, Barry! Oh, he had his belly over his neck. Oh, look at him! You snobby little mug. Who you think you are? Ponce.
My father, he worked 40 years in television.
Yeah.
Won 2 Emmy Awards, was nominated for another
Exactly.
one. So all of his peers at ABC and television seeing deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
He's a drunk, he's slovenly.
He's not.
He's, cashing in on his daughter.
You think he's been very unfairly treated, don't you?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, at no time did
He should be treated with the same dignity as the Middletons get treated, really, to be fair. You know, there's no reason why he isn't. I mean, even if she's decided she's not going to speak to the royal family, at the end of the day, he should have been invited to the coronation. Of course he should have been, just like the Middletons were, because, well, without him, Meghan wouldn't exist, and Harry wouldn't be as deliriously happy as he apparently is, VTubers. Let's go.
Come on, don't treat my family like that. That's not true.
Exactly.
So she had the opportunity.
But thing is, we all know that she set it all up. It was all a done deal. She didn't want him there. You know, she wanted to be the little princess walking down the bleeding aisle like some Disney bleeding movie. Silly mare. And then she got the next King of England, and he said, I'll walk you down the aisle. And even then she said, no, you walk me halfway. I'm going to do, well, it's my face to camera, Mr. DeMille. This is my crowning moment. This is the pinnacle of my career. I have spent much of it on my back, and now I have got to where I am going. Yes, I am.
Misunderstanding something.
Come on.
Set it straight and to take charge in a positive way.
Oh, it's tragic.
Can I put a proposition to you? Because your family.
It seems to me like he was one of those families where by the time she was growing up, these two had children, so her nieces and nephews were like her own age sort of thing. So it's quite a blended family going on. He seemed to love all the children, whether they were his children or grandchildren. He seemed like a homey guy, Mr. Markle. And that, in that era, was hard to come by. But the other thing that struck me about her is that she very much thinks and sort of projects herself in the expectation that she's living in 1980 or 1975 when women didn't have as many rights. And because he's from that era and he brought her up, you can kind of see, that era in her. In other words, what I'm saying, she's always about 40 years out of date, isn't she? Yeah, there you go, I've said it.
They're just so much alike. And Meghan really is just a carbon copy. What do you say to that proposition? I mean,
I just think it's tragic.
You're really just as bad as each other.
You know, your sister's in a blimmin' wheelchair. I mean, in my day, you'd just be an arsehole. You really would. But nowadays, apparently, wow, it's being a proud, confident woman, colour in it. I'm authentic, I am. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, I'm an humanitarian. Oh, I am. I'm classy and all. Oh, yes, I am. I don't give a shit about my sister or my dad. No, both of them are dying. I don't care. Fuck them.
Well, I throw more. You throw.
God, I'll throw more than a ball.
Has made money out of selling.
Dear man, you should have smacked the back of her legs quite a few times when she was a gobshite as a kid. That's what you should have done. Shouldn't have raised her up so much. You can see the narcissism was raging. You could. And I think her mum's a narc. You know, well, what you can research about her. Yes, a lot of it's sealed through to verse.
Her story.
No,
you have made money sometimes out of selling your story.
She can afford a much bigger ball.
There is no denying that Thomas Markle shoulders some of the blame for the breakdown of his relationship with his daughter.
Well, when you're in the adult situation, the parent situation, you would just take all the blame to just get your kid back, wouldn't you? Which probably isn't the best thing to do. It really is. I mean, the thing is, his other two children love him. I see Samantha as not even doing it so much for herself. She's indignant at the way her dad's been treated. That's what I get from her. And I get a certain amount of that from Thomas Markle Jr., who just is, well, he's just there for the supporting role, isn't he, really, you know? Because he sees that, what can you do? But it's terrible. It's just, she should be totally ashamed of herself. But women like her, people like her, they have no shame. Come on.
Tomorrow, saying that your father has been staging pictures and taking money from the press, and I was like, what kind of pictures?
Oh, well, it's the worst thing that could ever happen, innit, you little madam? So what? Grow up. It's what you do all the blooming time, love. It's okay for you. It's not okay for anyone else, is it? Oh, Woko. No, it blooming well isn't.
Before her wedding, he was caught out engaging in staged paparazzi.
Do you notice the emotive words they use? He was caught out. On one level, let's just take it on its face value. Photographers approached him and he had some photographs taken. She does it all the time, right? She rings them and gets them to come and get photographs taken. But the backstory is actually that he was set up by her, the very person, right,